Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. And if this is the first episode that you are tuning in with us today, welcome. Today is an amazing episode. I'm so excited to dig into this topic, my favorite topic on the planet, polarity, masculine, feminine energetics. And we're going to talk about how roles in relationship actually kill polarity and how to create polarity in a way that feels natural and fun and authentic. I've decided to talk about this topic on the podcast today because I've been doing this month a lot of content on masculine, feminine energies and polarity, and I wanted to go in depth in one angle of that for you today. So many, and to actually set the stage here, polarity is what creates magnetic attraction. It's that push and pull in relationship, that dynamic that keeps you continuously wanting to learn more about partner. And that keeps them on their toes, always wanting to get to know you more deeply, to learn something new about you. So many polarity teachers teach men to be in the masculine, women to be in the feminine. There's so many workshops for men all around tuning into their masculine energy, divine masculine, for feminine beings, how to tune into your feminine, how to work with your feminine, how to surrender, how to be in flow. I'm of the belief that in order for us to have fulfilling relationships filled with polarity, we need to be able to exercise both our masculine and feminine energies within the relationship. And we'll break that down. And in order to truly be in one's feminine, I need to know how to have safety within self so that I can actually surrender. I need to know how to initiate intimacy and incite desire in my partner so that I can be ravished. On the masculine side, I need to know how to be in touch with my emotional landscape in order to lead in a way that impacts her emotional landscape. I need to be attuned to my own energy in order to be able to read her energy in a moment. And so when we are balanced, it helps us be better leaders, helps us be better lovers, helps us be better human beings. And when we are stuck in these roles, so when as a feminine being, if you're constantly trying to work on how to be in more in your feminine, and a masculine being constantly working on how to be more in the masculine, but you're not cultivating that opposing energy, we're never going to have authentic polarity. Why? Because when we're in roles, what happens? Over time, I'm always playing the feminine. Over time, you're always playing the masculine. Routine sets in, monotony sets in. We lose that sense of excitement and that push-pull, and we lose polarity. So to keep polarity, it's being able to always keep your partner on their toes. Now, how do we do that? We do that through us being able to be in the fullness of our range as a human being. I need to both initiate, I need to receive and surrender. I need to lead, I need to follow. I need to be direct, I need to also be open and curious. And it's that dance that makes someone so magnetic. And thus that brings aliveness into the relationship. And if we want to keep that polarity, when we're integrated, so when am integrated in my masculine and feminine, and I want to caveat here, when we talk about masculine and feminine energies in our world, we often talk about the distorted versions. Oh, a woman in her masculine, she's controlling and dominant and aggressive and forceful. That's distorted masculine energy. Or, man in his feminine, or a woman in her feminine, woman or man in both. That's she's or he's shaming, blaming, manipulating, codependent, needy. That's distorted feminine energy. Both parties can go there. And so I want to invite a shift when we talk about these energies. We want to think about the healthy versions of both. So we're not using it as a tool for shaming, woman in her masculine, man in his femme. But instead, it's like a healthy masculine, whether you're a woman or a man, is your ability to hold yourself with safety and presence through challenging time. It's that staying power, it's being there. It's not disconnecting, not avoiding, not closing, not lashing out, not reacting, being there, being that solid presence, being that groundedness, those roots of a tree holding you so steady amidst whatever chaos you're experiencing. It's all right, baby, I got this. Yeah. Whether you're a woman or a man, right? That energy. It's also your ability to lead, to direct, to initiate, your ability to seduce in intimacy, both parties. That's masculine energy. That's an outward energy that's inviting someone in. And on the healthy feminine side, that's the connection to self, tuning into self, tuning into your own energy around your partner, around other people, attuning to their energy, shifting accordingly, your ability to play with rejection, to flow with partner, to flow with life, to receive, to surrender. And as we're balanced, we know how to pull out the opposing energy from our partner. So I give an example from my own life. Most of my partners, all my partners, have been more in their feminine. Now remember, catch yourself if you're going to the negative. Most of all my male partners have been in their feminine, their softness, connected to their heart, connected to their emotions. They're energetically attuned because I like that. I need that. Now, naturally, if they're in that energy, sometimes they're not as directive when it comes to the intimacy in the way I desire. So I've used to find myself being the one to overlead in intimacy. And as I've done deep work to balance my masculine and feminine energies, then you start to have attunement and you learn, how do I lead in order to receive? How do I incite their desire so that I can sink back and be on the receiving end of it? How do I invite my partner to meet me in conflict through my subtlety, through my openness, through my asking questions, my curiosity, that balance of assertiveness and warmth that gets them to want to actually show up to a hard conversation so that I can receive, so that they can show up for me and I'm not forcing them to. And it's by choice. Or as a masculine being, if you're, let me turn my lights on here, as a masculine being, if your partner is, you feel like they're not surrendering to your leadership, how do you invite that in? So, how do you tune into your feminine, bring a little lightness, bring a little play, comment subtly on the dynamics, and work to shift them with sensitivity? And this is going to invite them to then soften so that you can get back into that masculine. So you've got to tune into the feminine in order to get into the masculine. And it's not the distorted feminine. I'm going to stay and feel emasculated. I'm going to disassociate. I'm going to disconnect. We're here and we're using the feminine through our language, through our lightness, through our play, through our ability to flow, to influence, in order to then invite them to sink back into the fact, I got this, babe. You just sit there on that pretty little couch of yours, looking all beautiful, looking all fly. I'm going to take care of this. What do you need to loosen up? You need a massage? Come over here. Let me give you a hug. I'm going to come give you a hug. I hear you. I'm receiving you. I understand how that makes you feel. That wasn't my intention, baby girl. This is what I meant by it. You need that attunement to the feminine to go there. Otherwise, you're going to close. You're going to shut down. Mm. And as a feminine being, this is why we really need that balance, because when we're in conflict, we don't need to assert the boundaries so intense. And what's yours, what's mine? This is the line, making threats, shaming, guilting, whatever it might be. We want to stand in that healthy masculine, which is I know who I am. I know what I deserve. I know what I want. And I'm going to be in my feminine when I communicate it. That softness. Because I know that force doesn't actually work. And this is the work that we do inside of Inner Union, inside of all my programs. Inner Union's coming up on May 26th, and we're going to go through how do you cultivate that sense of balance as a feminine being, attuning to your masculine and feminine energies, doing, what's the word? It's an analysis of your entire life and your relationship and looking at where you're off balance in certain areas. Because you may be in the femme in one area, the masculine in one area, the distorted masculine in one area, the distorted femme in another. So it's looking at that and then working on cultivating balance within. And we do that through the body, through the energy, through the voice. Because this is how you will truly call in a relationship that's rooted in mutual admiration and devotion and sovereignty. And so I'll put the links in the show notes for you to check it out if this is resonating with you. You know, this is everything I stand for. It stems from my own journey of intimacy, and it's radically transformed my life and the relationships of the women I've worked with and the men and the couples. I mean, this is the core of all the work I do with couples as well. And this theme aligns to an upcoming masterclass I'm doing. It's a workshop for men only called the Integrated Masculine, where we'll be going over the mother wound and the father wound and how these wounds from childhood impact how we come to understand our masculine and feminine to date, and how rewiring that relationship with the feminine, with your own inner feminine, and thus your masculine, how that's going to help you rewire for more balance and love, where you feel good, better in love, more empowered in love, calling in the dynamics that you desire. Polarity was never about roles, and it's everything about balance. And it seems confusing because we think of polarity as this or, but it's not. The balance is so you can hold both. It's about holding both. And that's the key in intimacy. That's how to continue to keep your partner on their toes. Expect the unexpected. Surprise them. Wow them. Do wild things. Surprise yourself. Thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in to this week's episode of Divine Union. It's been such a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.